Thank you for joining us today for the West Tampa CRA CAC Special Events and Project Subcommittee Workshop. Mr. Jesus, do we know how many to the special projects application that we have, special events, should I say? It is Jazz on the Lawn. Project Link is partnering with What We Could Be and several other organizations that's sponsoring this jazz festival that will be held at um, Just Elementary and Stewart Middle School right here in the neighborhood. The track area of the back of the school. This is a fundraiser um, for Project Link and What We Could Be. Uh, Jeanette is going to please tell us about the great work you're doing here at Just Elementary in West Tampa, and then we'll go into the application.
All right.
If I may, I'm sorry, Jeanette. This is Jesus. Just for the record, just want to make it known that Project Link is the one that has the name on the application. So if this has consensus to move forward to the West Tampa CAC, Project Link, which is Tina Young, is a member of the CAC. She will recuse herself and will not participate in any vote at the CAC. Just for the record, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. Mhm. Go ahead, Miss Bradley. Oh, so
I don't know why I have a phone that's ringing. I thought I turned it off. So my apologies. I'm going to let it ring. We're excited about being in West Tampa. I've typically or historically have worked in East Tampa. What We Could Be Exchange. Our signature program is Seedfolk Kids After School Garden Experience. We started. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah.
We started at Edison Elementary School back in 2017. At that time, we brought a fundraising event, partnered with Tina, partnered with Business Plans Plus, and a few other partners, and did very well in terms of community engagement and awareness. What we do is go on campus, work with about 30, 40 kids in a community school garden after school, teaching leadership skills, entrepreneurial skills, and just really trying to impact the way that they function on the campus in classrooms. So what we do is plant seeds, literally and figuratively. And the way that we find we should fund that is through programs like Jazz on the Lawn, which has dual purposes. As I said before, it raises money for the program, but it also creates awareness of the school's existence and the community that the school is in. So the very next year, we brought it back a second year, and we had a lower attendance at that time, but that's when we began charging. Tina, as our fiscal agent, pretty much said it's a fundraiser, we need to make money, and so we moved forward to do that. So the second year, it was as successful as we're concerned. We were able to bring people into a community where most people do not come. So we brought a lot of awareness to the Edison the 15th Street, Osborne area corridor, if you will. The very next year, it was COVID, so we were not able to have the program, the project. But in last year, we started at Just Elementary School. Now, between Just, we also started a program at Sulphur Springs. We'll be coming up with projects that we can do there. Our goal is to bring awareness into areas where people normally don't venture or go, to create awareness for those schools, but also for the community, and to just really engage people in these types of activities. So this year we're at Just. The principal there is absolutely wonderful. He's engaged. We're planting gardens there with the kids. And they have a STEM program that we also committed to raising money for. As Tina mentioned, the venue is on the river right there at Blake High School. We think it gives us a great opportunity to get the word out about school engagement, but it also is a great opportunity to engage the community in an area that is changing so rapidly. And so our community partners include Tampa Housing Authority. It includes Related Urban, Simply Healthcare, a smaller nonprofit, Good Hair Coaching. So we're pulling in a lot of really good partners. Our goal is to grow this so that it becomes an annual event. We think it could rival any other jazz event here in the Tampa Bay area. But the difference would be it's a fundraiser and it creates awareness for Title I schools or schools that are low performing, like Just, like Edison, like Sulphur Springs.
All right. Mr. Jones, Rodney is um pretty much our guy that keeps us on track. He put this application together. Rodney Jones is with the CEO of Business Plans Plus. Rodney, would you like to add anything more? Maybe talk a little bit about the artist that's going to be at the event.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, Tina, and thank you to the West Tampa CRA. I really, really appreciate your time today, and thanks for considering this application. Uh, Tina, if you wouldn't mind, what I'd first like to talk about, and just kind of to supplement some of the comments that Jeanette made, I really wanted to talk a little bit about who this event is really for in terms of what our target audience is, and what we expect the estimated attendance to be, as well as um, provide a little bit of insight into what we think the economic impact will be on the immediate economic impact on West Tampa. Don't have much measurement in terms of what we think the long-term impact will be, but I do want to have a couple of comments about what we think the short-term economic impact will be. So in terms of the audience itself, we're expecting between 700 and conservatively, and all the numbers that you all see in front of you will be conservative projections. We conservatively anticipate between 500 and 750 people attending as it relates to the general admission. We're planning for about 75 additional participants in the VIP section as well. The event itself is open to all audiences, specifically residents of Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Polk County who really enjoy a family atmosphere, enjoy live music in an outdoor setting, and particularly enjoy a setting that's both live music and on the water. So in terms of our demographics, it primarily will be made up of people who love the music, people who enjoy a family fun atmosphere, as well as, and most importantly, the residents of West Tampa. I think that's pretty important. We do think that the economic impact from the event itself will be pretty significant. We anticipate in terms of vendors that we're doing business with to make this thing a reality. We're looking at spending about $24,000 in the community, and that includes people that are providing the bounce houses, people that are providing mobile entertainment zones, fencing, barricading people, the toilet company, the event management people. That's a local company. That's Mr. William Sanders. Of course, some of the local entertainers are actually from the Bay Area. I'm not too sure whether or not they're from West Tampa or not. Our caterers, our promotional spending, etc., are primarily through vendors and business people who are located, for the most part, in the West Tampa community. Some are outside the city of, I'm sorry, outside the West Tampa area, but most of them are within the city of Tampa. And so we look at that as pretty significant. In addition to that, we look at the revenue. We're making some estimates in terms of the revenue that the participating food vendors will make. We're designating that at about, we're projecting that at about $10,000. Merchandise vendors, roughly about $7,500. In addition to that, we're anticipating revenue from parking at about another $2,000. So we really do think that the economic impact of the event will be quite significant to the West Tampa community as well. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Rodney. Again, the event is here at the Riverwalk Academy, just campus in Stewart. It is Saturday, March 12th from 11 to 5. It's gonna be general admission, which is, I believe, $20. And is that correct? I don't have it in
Yes.
front of me.
That's
And
correct.
then we'll have a limited number of VIP area seats. And the artist is a graduate of Blake High School. BK Jackson is our headliner. And several of the other jazz artists from the community, Marlon Boone and a couple of other entertainers that will be also showcasing their talent for our cause. Just a side note, they did take a reduced rate to help the fundraising efforts. So everybody, we have gotten buy-in for this event to turn around and support the children in this community. Does anybody have any questions in reference to this event? And then I'm going to be quiet because
Can you add, Tina, can you add the Kid Zone is also a big feature. Yeah, so that it's very family friendly with an emphasis on Kid Zone that is STEM oriented. Rodney mentioned the mobile game unit, but the bounce houses, but there will also be snakes and things from the nature's classroom. So we've got buy-in across the board to create an experience for children that I think that West Tampa could also be proud of.
okay. All right. So does anybody have any questions in reference to this event?
So this is Mike Randolph from the West Tampa CDC. Can
Yes,
everybody
sir.
hear me?
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, anything that Jeanette works on, I know she's got that type of business mentality. And if Tina is working with her, I know it's a win-win for the community. Anything that the West Tampa CDC can do, I know we focus on economic development, but anything we can do to make this success, for example, promoting it or whatever, just let us know we're here to help. This is awesome for West Tampa. I'm telling you, this is something that really takes you to the next level where West Tampa should be.
Thank you for those comments.
You said that surrounding counties, Pinellas, and I think he mentioned one more, Hillsborough and Pinellas.
Yeah,
So,
yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Could you just repeat that again? I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. And I appreciate the question. This is Rodney Jones. In
So is
terms
that
of
a
us,
collaboration of these counties, or are you just saying inviting, people to come out from these counties, or is it active participation?
Yeah. No, and I'm glad you asked that question. No, so in terms of our marketing efforts, our reach, our marketing reach is going to include people in Pinellas who basically would enjoy a family outing on the water, et cetera, jazz lovers, et cetera. So our marketing efforts will include obviously residents in Hillsborough County, but also Pinellas County as well as Polk County.
Okay, all right, thank you.
How have you connected to vendors in West Tampa and potential talent in West Tampa? What have been your marketing strategies related to the residents in West Tampa and possibly their participation, be it a vendor or have some talent that's part of the production.
I can answer part of that. With regard to the vendors, I've actually gone and knocked on doors on Main Street. I've also joined WWCB. I know Tina's already a part, but as it's a part of my responsibility, I've joined the West Tampa CRA, the West Tampa Chamber, and have talked in the meetings about this event and invited them to become vendors. But it's door knocking and telling them what we're doing, telling them about the nonprofits, and really trying to engage them, if not this year, the next year, because we're letting them know it's coming.
Okay, because we definitely, if not this year, next year, want to work with you and definitely getting vendors. While the West Tampa Chamber is a organization, they tend to be mostly Hispanic. And our concern is making sure African Americans are reached and they participate in this event. This is an observation.
Yeah, Brother Randall, if I can also just add to that, we've also reached out and had permission with Candy Low and the Black Business Bus Tour. I've been a part of that for years as well. So
Okay.
I'm using that as a feeder network to help us attract vendors of color. We think that that's critically important as well. So we share that sentiment.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Do we have any local newspaper like the Florida Sentinel, which is one of our main, hubs here for communication with the Afro-American community?
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you asked that. So I part of the many hats that I'm wearing as volunteer is handling most of the marketing stuff. And so in addition to press releases, in our very meager conservative media budget, in addition to press releases, we're also we'll also be using the Florida Sentinel Bulletin, also the Weekly Challenger in St. Petersburg, as well as In Touch News as well in terms of print media, in terms of allocating some of our meager resources to those, because we think those are effective tools of getting people to purchase tickets and making them aware of the organization. And I really appreciate that question. That's an important one.
Thank you.
All right. Any further questions before we go to the scoring rubrics? Rubric.
This is staff, Jesus. I
Mhm.
think before you go to the rubric, they need to go over the budget for you, because there is some things on there as they need to understand that CRA cannot fund even if we wanted to. For instance, this is just very general, and when they go over it, then you can identify it. We can't pay for any kind of staff fees or any kind of operating costs like that, just kind of more of the hard costs and some of the permit fees that the city may be charging them.
Mhm.
But they can
Okay.
kind of go over the budget with you. I think they have plenty on there that they could get them up to the maximum if the group here sees fit.
Is on the budget.
This is a
No.
question. Is Related, are they giving any help in terms of cash to this project? The Related Urban?
Yes, Related is a sponsor, yes.
Excellent. Now, what about the Children's Board? Are they giving anything to, I know they have technical assistance dollars that can go towards this.
The Children's Board right now is not. They are a vendor, but we could certainly explore that.
And in case you do need additional funds, just let me know. I probably can connect you to some funders. That's all I do all day long is look for money.
Well, we're not going to turn that away. So if you do have some resources, Michael, please.
Mini grants, 1,000 here, 2,000 here.
That works.
And I think that could get you anything that the CRA can't provide. I think you can provide that as a backup.
Okay, that
Nice.
sounds
Right.
Also, Mr. Randolph, to answer your question in even greater detail, if we could go to section D, where we talk about community partners and what their contributions will be for the event. We've included that. So up to this point, and this is still work in progress, and hats off to Jeanette for all the work that she's done in terms of getting local community sponsors. As you'll see in section D there, related urban, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the fifth bullet down.
Okay.
They've made a contribution. Tampa Housing Authority's made a commitment. My company has Business Plans Plus. Simply Healthcare Plans, we've got a great commitment from them. Penny Mac has also contributed with the grant as well.
Good.
And to your point, to Jeanette and Tina's point, anything, any resources, any opportunities for additional community partners, we would absolutely welcome. So we really appreciate that gesture, and we'd really like to take you up on that offer. Thank you.
I think the West Tampa deserve the best, and what y'all bring to the table is the best.
I'd like to add to that, and thank you so much, Michael. Volunteers is also going to be a big initiative for us in February to try to make sure that, especially that we can get volunteers from the West Tampa area.
Okay, I'll definitely put that out there. And anything else you need from the community, just let me know. And I'll do a blast to most of the people that live in the neighborhood. Let them know what would you need in terms of volunteers? What would be the function? What would be the role that you would need help?
So there are various functions, and what I'm going to do is send you a link
Like
that you can go to and tell us what they want to do.
Sounds like a plan. Okay.
All right. So if we could take a look at the Rubik's rubric. Heem, Delphine, I know you can't look at it, and Carlos, you guys, we're gonna go through the categories. We need to score this. Right. We'll start at the top. The application is complete, including contact information, full proposal, budget, attachments signed by 2 representatives. Yes, that happened. That is a complete task there. Monetary request is within the guidelines. We are asking for $5,000. The project is within the West Tampa CRA boundaries. Yes, it is. The applicant is a nonprofit 501c3 status. Yes, it is. It's in the West Tampa CRA boundaries. Yes, it is. And letter of support, which I don't believe we put any in there, but it's not required.
Well, if you
So
do, just let you know West Tampa CDC will be happy to give you a letter of support if you need it.
Okay.
That'd be good for the record.
Say that one more time, Jesus.
That'd be great for the record if Michael can do that.
Yeah, just
Okay.
know the who's, and we'll get the letter out to y'all.
Okay.
All right, I'll send you an email.
Cool.
I would suggest, and Ashlyn.
No problem.
All
No
right, and
problem.
then
Thank
I
you.
would ask that Rodney and Jeanette, if you could come to our next meeting. This will be with the entire CAC board, so you can speak to any questions that the other members may have. That would be excellent.
Quick question. So what's the turnaround time if the organization spend money and the city actually pays them? What's that turnaround time?
City policy is a maximum of 30 days from the days the request is made. Usually we can get it quicker than that, but that's the policy if everything's in place.
Tina, that works for me?
Yes, has to, right?
You're right.
Yeah, we should be fine.
All right.